Okay, so today, seriously, this took a little while getting this together, but incredibly pleased that we've managed to get Mr. Hardy Sidhu into our tabah. So you guys better pay attention, because this young man is definitely moving and shaking and going places, and it is just brilliant to see. So Hardy, how are you?
Good, doing good, Joe. Great to be here. A pleasure to be on a call with you. I think as much as you want to say good stuff about me, I mean, it's an honor for me to be on a conversation with you. I think I've taken a lot of wisdom and inspiration from what you've done in your career, and only following on your path and journey that you've set out as well for us or younger people to go ahead on with.
That's very, very, very kind. Yeah, thank you. Right. So how did you get into the wonderful world that you occupy right now? What was the thing that kind of got you thinking, you know what? I want to do that.
Man, I'll be honest with you. My journey's been unconventional. I don't have a very conventional journey like most in the design world. Where I come from university, end up in jobs, and always been creative. I never knew I was creative. I never knew I was going to end up in this.
Mhm.
It kind of started from that weird journey of being a youngling. I think I was about 15. I ended up in young offenders with like no GCSEs, no A levels. You end up in a situation where coming from that very working class background, you don't really know what to do. Everyone's in survival, right?
Mhm.
And you're in a situation where no one's there to teach you anything. No one's there to like guide you because everyone that's around you is in that survival mode. Your parents were in the survival mode coming as immigrants. And then you end up in a situation where life can take two courses. You either come out and you continue on that bad path that got you into that situation, or you come out and you try to make something to elevate yourself and the people around you,
Mhm.
and make a change, to break the mold from what is expected of you. Um, and figuring out how I do that has been a wild journey. Um, when I decided, all right, cool, I'll come out of young offenders and I'll do something that I actually enjoy, because I couldn't go back into education. I had no qualifications at all at that point. I'd missed some GCSEs, and it was either go back into an education system that doesn't fit me, because I was quite rebellious, I was quite destructive, but they all said that I have a bit of a brain on me, which I took for granted. I didn't really understand that, but I knew I liked to solve problems. And then stupidity of me said, I like to solve problems. I also had a GCSE in maths. I think the only one I got was like in year 9. They
Mhm.
let me do it early. So I was like, stupid 15-year-old me says, I like to solve problems. I'm good at maths. Maybe I'll become like a coder, like a developer. And from that point, I was like, all right, cool, got out. I got some books, learned how to code. I thought I was learning programming and all these geeky stuff.
Mhm.
More stupidity, I realized later on that I actually learned front-end development and not programming. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right, cool.
happens.
Yeah,
It
I was like, well, I'm learning programming. No, you're learning markup, mate.
Mhm.
And then from that point, I was like early 15, 16, started like making websites for little local communities, about £50, £100 a website. Really shitty websites. I mean, absolute trash. I've made sure to go back through my Google Drives and delete anything that's from that period.
Yeah.
Cringes me out.
No, you should keep it. You should. I've still got original actual RP files, right, which I did for some call center thing, and I look at it and I just think to myself, "Tapper big time. What kind of like bakwas is this? Seriously." For the
Yeah.
non-Punjabis listening, it's yeah, I'm slapping myself and I'm thinking, what kind of lunacy, rubbish, what have you done? So I can relate.
Yeah. From that point, I learned, all right, cool. I learned how to develop websites, and I learned a little bit about design because I was like, shit, I need to make something to reference,
Mhm.
to make something. And at that point, it was like, all right, cool, designing and developing websites, really shitty ones. And then ended up getting into a gig. From that gig, I was like a web designer developer, and then I was like, actually, this programming thing I don't really like that much. I was like, I like just creating. I like to create. Started figuring out myself. Started asking myself, like, cool, I'm in a journey that I chose because I enjoy it. Let's keep on enjoying it and make sure it's something that I enjoy instead of something that I'm sitting in. So from that, I moved on to digital design. Um, was not was not capable of doing the job at all, to be honest. The guy that hired me, Jake Lawrence, a good friend of mine, but one of my best friends at the moment. It's about years, way over a decade ago. He hired me
Mhm.
purely for the fact he asked me in the interview. He goes, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" I said, "In your seat." And he goes, "The balls on you to say that to me and the creative director."
Mhm.
He goes, we knew that you had to learn a bunch, but you had the ambition to do it." And then he hired me stupidly. Um, but I learned. I was grinding my ass off to learn Photoshop, Illustrator,
Hungry.
that, yeah, just constantly just staying late, asking, leeching off information and wisdom of like, how do you design? What is design? My mind got opened up to design. I was like, wow, there's so much here to unpack. Um, Stupid of me as well. I used to say that I didn't have a criminal offense on my job applications where they asked you, "Do you have
Mhm.
any criminal offenses?"
Mhm.
I still did at that point. It wasn't 6 years before it was wiped, and then they did a check, and then they found out that I did. And then, yeah, my buddy Jake, he actually ended up having a fight with the HR and saying not to fire him because he's actually one of the best, and he's probably not going to stay here long, but he's going to be a massive asset for the time he's here. So credit to him. If that didn't happen, fuck me, I would not be in this position right now. And I've always said to him, every milestone I've hit, I've always mentioned him back saying, "Man, if you didn't step up for me and
Mhm.
believe in me, fuck nothing, none of this would have happened." But I was only there for about 7 months again. So I was like early in my career, I kept moving just to get an appetite of things. From that digital design role, I kind of figured out that's UX stuff. I was like, what's this UX stuff? The
Mhm.
psychology and way people think. This has got me interested. And then I was like, let's transition again. Let's go to agency now. Let's blag our way into being a UX designer. And then
You you and everybody else, there's still blaggers out there, let me tell you.
I was like, oh, fuck it. Let's go ahead. And next thing I know, I'm a midway UX designer, fucking getting the cracks of things. I was like, but again, it was the grinding. I was doing all the courses online. I was
Mm.
doing all the leeching of wisdom. And slowly, then after that, I think that was my last role as a permanent for a little while. I was only there again for like 6 months.
Mhm.
Then I ended up in contracting because I was like, let me get varied skill sets everywhere. Let me test my knowledge in every areas with different clients, different industries, teaching off everyone for information and wisdom. It was just everyone became like a guru to me. Everyone that had a bit of knowledge was someone that I could come back to and learn from. And when I stopped learning from them, I moved places. I was like, all right, cool. I got what I need. Next place.
Proper locust. Okay.
Yeah. And then at some point, ended up in Stockholm for AKQA. Um, at that point, I was fairly confident that I knew what I can do. I was like, yeah, I have the skill sets to do stuff.
Mhm.
And then that transitioned into me becoming a product design director for AKQA. At some point in Amsterdam, it moved into they never agencies weren't doing product at a point. Product was a whole new thing, but I had come from a wealth of experience being a unicorn at that point, and I knew what product was. I was doing it well with Volvo, and then AQQ were like, can you set up a whole department for product? Like, what is this product thing? And I was like, yeah, sure,
Mhm.
why not? And then ended up over there setting up a whole initiative and strategy for what product is, how we do product, what does the product team look like, what does
Mm.
product team look like with our clients. And that really shifted my mentality into understanding what product really is in terms of partnerships between agencies and clients, of how you really accelerate and add value at pace. For me, it gave me a wealth of understanding of how to run a department, of a new department completely, a legacy agency. That point kind of led into multiple other points where I was like, all right, cool, I've done my job here. I've raised a team. I've set up this initiative across Europe. I've shown the way how we do product and making tons more money in product now. let me go make myself some more money because at that point I kind of run out of things that make me happy.
Mm.
I was like, I always thrive in the uncomfortability of things. When things get comfortable, I'm not optimized. I'm at prime. And I got comfortable and I was like, okay, cool. I'm comfortable. Let's see where I can get more uncomfortable. Let's find things that make me happy. So I was still quite young at that point. I was like, oh fuck it, let's go see if money makes me happy.
Mhm.
Then we moved to the States, did some work as a product director out there, for the likes of fantasy. And then at that point, it was making a shit ton of money, doing really easy work, getting paid a shit ton, buying all the cars and all the things I wanted, coming from a working class background, having a life that I never expected. And then about a year in, I was like, fuck, money doesn't make me happy either.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, we trial and tested that. We trial and tested,
Funny when that happens, right?
yeah, we trial and tested like roles making me happy and making me like having a senior role will make me happy. Money will make me happy. I was like, none of this makes me happy. But I had to go through the cycles, growing up from a young man, like understand, like, cool. The only way you're gonna realize it doesn't make you happy is by having it. Um, and then I got to a point. So I was like, what makes me happy is really waking up every morning when blood is rushing to my heart and I'm really in a point of grind where I'm like doing hard, challenging work and being with a team that's really just about humanity and having friends and people around you that really join you like a battlefield or a campfire. I was like, I tried to do a lot of that at the legacy agencies, but a lot of that was filled by red tape because at the end of the day, someone was pocketing cash, and they want to run things how they want to run things. After that, I was like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" Took a couple months off, and I was like, "Let's just try our own thing. Let's flip the model a little bit. Let's go from talking about human-centered outputs to human-centered approaches for outputs."
Mm.
And I was like, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can run a whole company on this hypothesis." So that's what I ended up doing about 14 years into my career, 14 years into my career. I set up Format 3, which I've been running for the last 3 years. That's really centered around great people doing great work, having a great time. And it's a simple philosophy. It's a simple hypothesis that I validated the first year.
Yep.
Now we're in the third year of just creating great stuff, being real thinkers, and having a great time dealing with people that we want to deal with and partner with.
It's it's not by accident, I have to say. I mean, listening to how you are articulating your journey, um, from West London Massive, and the challenges that you clearly have had and how you have bounced, but it's not a random bounce.
Yeah,
There's method in that. It's iterative, it's positive, but fundamentally, again, just listening to your wisdom. This is people, process, and technology in action. And I think the tenants, if anyone's listening to this, uh, people first. You have to be people first. That's very, very cool.
yeah, 100%. I think from our background of things, where we've gone through shifts as a Punjabi community as well, right? We've
Mhm.
gone from a very community heavy led people back in Punjab
Yep.
before colonialism. After colonialism, it's been a situation of people getting divided. People got shipped left, right, and center. People going to survival. And then when by the time our grandparents came over, it was very much come over with a pound, come over with survival. They had their still community over here in London, but then over time it's kind of separated. And I'm like, why does it have to be like that? Why does everything have to be divided? Why does one have to be a professional without being a person first? Why do people even separate life from work balance? It's like everything is one. That's one of our teachings that we've had since kids, right? That oneness is everything. And I think that's the same philosophy that I've applied to just every single angle and perspective in my journey as well. Just everything is connected, everything is one.
Yep. I think I've mentioned it previously on one of the episodes, and Vangelis, absolute genius, one of my mentors, from a music perspective, and that then leached into what I do in the design space and technology space as well. Everything is interconnected.
Yeah,
And the thing his quote was, "Everything is music."
yeah,
And
for
if you
sure.
boil that down, everything is frequency. It's easy when we speak about it. Why do you think it's so difficult, generally speaking, to actually execute that?
I think we don't slow down the noise. I think the noise sometimes overcomplicates things. I
Mm,
think we get lost in the noise. Um, it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to give up. It's very easy to go down a different path, and it's very easy to not focus on what matters in the noise.
mm,
I don't think enough of us slow down. Um, I think from a people perspective, we don't. You go back to a matter of like that analogy of people don't even look up anymore. People don't even look in anymore. Like everything we do in our industry at the moment as well is always output facing. It's always the user. It's always the world. It's always the thing. It's always like the AI hype. It's never a self reflection. It's never a point of looking in. I think, well, how can we ever be a part of what's out if we can't be in?
you need to understand self. You need to understand that base.
Yeah,
No, 100%, 100%. You've already started speaking about your heritage.
yeah.
Yeah, and for anyone who's missed it, Punjabi, right? Um, very, very proud, I have to say, looking at it from the outside. I think the one time we did meet up, and thank you for that, because I know how stupid busy you are. It was very
I've said to you before, everyone can make time for everyone, man.
well. Thank you, thank you for making time, and yeah, that's that. So it's very, very important to you, your Punjabi heritage. One thing that when folks ask me, "Okay, Joel, man, seriously, another podcast? Who needs another podcast?" And for me, I suddenly thought to myself, why I don't see people, I don't hear people, I don't have that energy that I used to have when I was doing my music. Just bumming around with some really famous people in the old school, Apna Sangeet, Hira, all of that, Kala Preet, all of those when I was just farting about back in the day. And where are these Punjabi people? Where are they? And and doing Taba is like it's an opportunity. I mean, we had Baljit Singh, and now you, and there will be more because I think for whatever reason, um, not just Punjabi but South Asian rather, if you want to broaden it a little bit. Why are we so invisible?
I think we've fallen into our own silos, man. I think it's very easy for us to just crack on, and there's that part of that survival that's still in us, where we just keep doing without connecting back out or representing who we are. There's a lot of great talent within the
Hmm.
creative industry that is Punjabi, but they never shout about the heritage about it either. They won't ever tie back anything back to the ancestral roots either. And I think one thing that I've been reflecting on recently is how well the Black community has done that with the art and the film and the music. Um, they have done a phenomenal job of connecting back to their roots and being proud of their roots as well. I think there's that element of where especially like Sikh Punjabis came over to UK, they try to just blend in too much, which is I'm all for adapting into a new culture, but also not forgetting your culture as well. I think a lot of that has just become, and then the part of that also is people have forgotten their roots. Like the younger generations, the newer generations, they're not taught what their roots are, or who they are. Even for me, sitting on this call, right, I'm introduced and I'm referenced as Hardy, but it's Hardeep. it's
Hmm.
it's just very easy to for me to even blend in sometimes, um, and that can without us being connected and without us voicing who we are and why we are and how we're here. I think it's easy for us to just go invisible at the end.
Hmm. That's an interesting point, actually. I mean, you are still known as Hardy, right? The marketing aspect of it, the visibility aspect of it. Are you suggesting that that's gonna change?
But one day it will change.
Okay.
Um, I already I try to look far enough in the perspective of journey as well. Like
Mm,
obviously from the times of Guru Gobind Singh, where he also mentioned not to use nicknames
mm,
and to be proud of your full name.
mm, mm,
Um, and that time will come when my journey with Sikhi also progresses as well. There will come a time where my hair does grow, my case will grow,
mm,
and my name will become complete again. I've used Hardy up to this point because I'm in that transitional phase as well.
mm, mm.
When that transition becomes a little bit more complete, my name will also come a bit more complete.
No, 100%. Fundamentally, I think it's not just that's one aspect, right? I think what we do as human beings, that that is what resonates. That is what really, really needs to be visible, because visibility is accountability.
Yep.
Um, and I'm super, super pleased that I see more brown faces. I see more South Asians, Punjabis, um, 10, 15 years ago, people were laughing at me, laughing to my face. Why are you so interested in India? No one's gonna be hiring anybody in India, and then great big energy company decides it wants to put a dent in the Indian subcontinent by, having a footprint there, and folks were actually apologizing on my behalf. They were apologizing to me.
Yeah. I believe it's the one thing I've been trying to do recently as well is just if I see someone doing well that
Mm.
looks looks relatable, like with South Asian, brown, um, from our community, I just even if I'm not connected with them, I'll make sure I connect with them, and
No, no.
I'll make sure to say, "Well done, man! Like, keep up! Like, just I'll give you whatever strength you need. I'll do whatever favor you need to help you do whatever you want to do." But a great job that you're doing. Just give that bit of credibility back and acknowledgement that people are trying and people are trying to get more that diverse Punjabi Indian background into things that are not normally in things.
For sure. I mean, don't want to take away from, what we've actually achieved as a community, because I think it's pretty bloody amazing. Um, when you look at families who came over in the 50s and early 60s and experienced all of that tragic racism, which unfortunately is still evident. And to be able to thrive, to take those characteristics of perseverance and diligence and graft and just crack on. Um, that's what we've
Uh,
been doing, and
yeah,
it's
I've always said that we should be, as this generation in the Western world as well, we should be using that and utilizing that as a step up.
mm,
Don't waste it. They put the grind in. They've done the hard bit, man. They came over with a pound. They had nothing. We have a bit of a playing field. Use it. Don't don't let it go. Don't let it slip.
for sure. So I mean, what besides the work, obviously, what other things are you involved with?
Besides the work,
Yeah. Do you have
uh,
time?
huh?
Do you have time?
I got time. I think I've been making time. I think it's been important for me to have a life that's outside of work as well.
So
It's quite important.
what does holiday do for fun then?
Well, I used to have fun. Now I got married recently, so that that's
Oh,
gone.
believe.
Fun is gone. But I'm enjoying settling into being more of a family man,
Mm,
and with that has come a lot of enjoyments that I never thought I'd find enjoyments. Like I've always been looking for teachers and gurus in my lifetime, right? And now I want to my own child. I like making. I enjoy the sitting down and learning, teaching him Punjabi, how to
mm,
read and
mm.
write, teaching him how to little things. Like I personally enjoy a bit of farming. I like growing my own vegetables and fruit, like stuff like that.
Nice.
It's something that I've just been carried on from my own mother and my granddad. I like growing your own vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. So I enjoy that kind of stuff. I think for me personally, I'm a big reader. I like to study. Well, that's ancestral as well, right? From
Mm,
Sikhi
mm.
translating to being a learner.
Yeah.
I like to learn about philosophies, arts, and spirituality. I'm mm, big in the knowing and the understanding of what education we've missed out on,
Yeah.
and learning how to fill those gaps. And that's been my biggest pastime, like, recently, just learning where the gaps in my knowledge of who we were, what we were, and learning about history, like, all of it. I tie down into that quite a lot, and then that's, again, reflecting back into what I'm teaching my kid.
Mhm.
Um, so that's been quite enjoyable, really, making sure that I keep leveling up the generations as we go on,
Mhm.
instead of just letting it be a stale platter. Um, Fun-wise, um, I mean, even for me personally, man, I've been getting away from all the toxic stuff that our community can favor sometimes, like the drinking and the partying and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like,
Mhm.
that's all come to an end recently as well. Like, not an end, but a much more sustainable approach to life. Um, and just recently I've been outside of work. I've just been connecting with people that can use my help,
Mhm.
where I can be favorable. It's not about money to me. It's not about profits to me. It's about where can I give my saver. I have skill sets. I have knowledge. I have wisdom. Where can that saver go? And that's I wouldn't. It's, it's pretty fun for me. I mean, looking back and when you help someone, you've seen someone else's success, it kind of gives me a little boost in life. That makes me feel good. Uh, but without sounding selfish, like, egotistic, like selfish in the sense of how I feel, but it's just something that I enjoy giving back out. That's what I've been doing mostly recently. Just trying to get involved in more projects, trying to get involved in more things that are happening. I think I've had a chaotic 3 years starting and running an agency.
Mhm.
Getting to a point now where I have a great leadership team. I have a great team behind me at Format 3 where I can now go off and start seeing where else I can be of favor.
Mhm. 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 I mean, besides everything, what also is quite evident is, um, the modesty. It's about the work, it's about the graft. But you've actually been recognized, yeah, within our space. You wanna talk about that a little bit?
What kind of recognition? I don't like talking too much about my own recognition.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
It's yeah, well, I always say recognition is just PR bullshit, right?
Come
It's
on,
at the end of the day, it's marketing.
come on, come on, come on, come on. I
Well,
mean,
uh,
young, whatever it was of the year, and
yeah,
the brilliant work that your agency, yeah,
yeah.
it's your agency.
I wouldn't say it's mine.
I would.
Well, I'm trying to transition that into an employee-owned agency soon as well, so
Mm,
that'll
yeah.
be theirs. Well, from the recognition side of things, obviously we've done great work, and that's down to me, right? It's down to the entire team at Format 3,
Mm,
where we recently won this year. It was a British Business Bank Startup of the Year award, so recognized as one of the best startups in Britain, the one, best one. And that was nice. Got to wear tux, got to pick up an award, and get hammered with the team, so that's quite fun. I've been recognized with being part of the Beamer 100 this year. We've been shortlisted for another. What was it? The Young Entrepreneurial Award of Britain, coming up in November. We've also been featured in a book that's coming out next year for 325 years of UK governance and innovation.
mhm.
So we've been featured a part of one of the top leaders and innovators happening within the UK. So there's been recognition, but again, it's a proud moment for me just to have that Sidhu name as well, across those things, where people up in it can look at it and be like, "That's one of ours, man. That's ours." And I've always said it's yours. It's just the point of to show the next generation, everyone else in our community, that we can do it. We can do things.
We can do things, but I think it's important from a personal perspective because this took me such a long, long, long time, and I'm still learning. Um, Besides the graft and building something and making it a success, and then speaking about it and not about you. But I think it's important that we do take a little bit of time, not too much time, but a little bit of time to acknowledge those successes because, like it or not, we live in an ecosystem where everything is run on social, literally. And the eyes and ears are driving emotions and ambitions. And like you've rightly said, there are so many opportunities for evangelizing. Um, and I love the fact that there are so many, for example, young South Asians now coming through playing football, getting representation, um, and that's happening more so also within the design and technology spaces. Um, it's incredible. But I genuinely believe that we, as a community, don't have that organization and the governance for that organization, well, that the Black community have. Yeah, and I definitely want to try and contribute to something. And Taba's one of them, right? It's one of those
Yeah,
vehicles where we can actually elevate and give folks an opportunity to say, well, you know what? Yeah, we're not just the quiet people in the corner who deliver awesomeness.
yeah,
Yeah, we can have a bit of a medley as well once in a while.
yeah.
And
I
we
mean, last week there was a event that I attended briefly as well, the Black Tech Fest.
mm,
Brilliant showcase of things. It's like that really got my eyes open. I was like, these guys have organized and been running this event for years,
mhm.
showcasing their talent as a community. I think it's a brilliant thing. I think but it comes down to that bit of governance you said, a bit of that structural organization that we're missing. I think
Well,
I've tried to do similar. I've tried to do little things and pieces where I come into, like, even we've done executive like dinners and roundtables, and I've always classed them as the bars. Like, as a dad bar, come in. This is not a place of just relating some of that ancestral not like, ways of doing things back into the things that we do at the moment. Hopefully that will start dragging some attention and attraction back in, and people will start seeing ourselves differently.
no, 100%. I mean, it's amazing that someone like yourself is visible, yeah, and the forthrightness within which you speak about your journey, speak about your way of doing things. There is still an originality about what it is that you do.
There has to be. I mean, I'm just me. I can't be anything else.
So in this place that everyone's aspiring to be like, I want to be like so and so. I want to be like so and so. It's so bloody awesome to hear someone in your position to say, yeah, this is me. This is what I've been doing. I've ended up in this space. I've, basically, uh, from what I've been listening to, it's been very, very agile. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've iterated. You've tried and tested things. Okay, done like that. I like this. This is working. That isn't working. Your purpose and success criteria have been really, really honed. You've been actually quite diligent, um, and to get success, whatever that looks like, whether that's achieving technical skills, whether that's getting um, financial uplifts, or whether that's maybe a little bit of visibility, but fundamentally it's a journey of discovery, and
yeah,
and that's really, really inspiring.
yeah. I think a lot of us, a lot of people, they go through journeys where they're trying to seek purpose, and I think they're rushing towards purpose.
Mm.
I've been thinking that the universe is not in a rush. Why are you rushing? Why are you finding why are we trying to find a specific purpose? Why are we trying to why don't we just be us? And that is our purpose, is just to be us and just welcome whatever that you get brought on in the journey.
That is profound. That is profound. Slow down, take a breath, breathe.
Yeah. I got asked recently on another podcast earlier this week,
Mm,
like, if you'd had 60 minutes with the likes of like Steve Jobs or Sam Altman or someone, or 60 minutes with yourself, which would
mm.
you choose? Yeah, fucking with myself. Fuck what I want 60 minutes with them for.
This is so nice. It genuinely is. Um, yeah, that's it. I got nothing more around that space at all. That just says it all. That's just, yeah. Here it is. Deal with it. professionally, politely, this is the thing.
Yeah,
Love
100%.
it.
Even with our business, we've taken that kind of same approach, right? Of let's just be us. We've had times to experiment. Do we get a little bit more corporate? Do we appeal a little bit to more enterprises?
Mm.
None of it's worked. It's always come back to what works for us is our energy. And every client piece of every feedback we've had from clients and prospects we won has always been your guys' energy. It's unmatched. It's just raw. It's just
Well, that's what
on.
happens when you get the right people together doing the right things. Yeah. Um, make it sound easy. It's not easy, right? You learn the hard way. But eventually you will get there. You'll figure out who the ones that matter are, and then you will just do good work. It's people, process, and technology at the end. Um, and that's great. What's next? What is next?
What is next? There's a ton of things. There's a ton of things I still want to do. I'm so young. Well, it depends who you ask, really. If you ask me, it's a couple of things. If you ask my wife, it's a whole.
Days. Yeah,
But
some things never change, right?
yeah, no. But from my perspective, it's a lot more. How do I aid and be not the one that does it all, but the one that contributes more to those communities being built that we need. How do we aid a bit more people coming together? From a business perspective, we're looking at we're doing more incubators that are funded by us as well, so we can support visionary ideas through the work that we do, and not just rely on people paying us. We're looking at different initiatives that we can take up. So we're looking at the ways that we can set up a school in Punjab as well in the next coming years, where we
Mm,
can actually teach a high level of design capability out in India as well. India's been very great with technology, but it still lacks dragging behind in terms of design and that excellence of design and craft. So with the capital and the wealth established from these businesses, we're looking to actually go ahead and set up something that can go on further than me. I'm looking for things that will go past just me, things that will go on past what I'm known for and my recognition. I want this to become more of an avalanche of things to aspire out of. I never want the situation of it just being Hardy's things. I want it to be he was maybe the catalyst for it. That's it. Um, I take that reference even from Guru Gobind Singh of when he set up the Khalsa. He gave it to the Khalsa. The Khalsa is everything. It's not Guru Gobind Singh, it's the Khalsa. Um, and that is exactly where I want to position myself into a position where I can maybe become a catalyst for it.
mm, mm. Definitely, definitely. So on that big topic, it's been a big topic for quite some time. This little kind of, I don't know, upstart called artificial intelligence.
What's that?
Yeah. What's your take on that? How I mean, okay, that's too broad a question, right? I can't look, turn a page, slide left, right, up, down, whatever, without seeing someone's views are okay, design is dead, right? Or this thing is dead and no one's going to have a job, right? What's your take on that aspect?
I think there's a lot of, again, noise and hype in AI at the moment. It's just people know what everyone's interested in. They keep talking about it. They keep
Mm,
having opinions on it. I think for me, it's just a tool. It's just another technology. We utilize it, we adapt with it, and that should allow us to amplify the work that we do as designers, as creators, as makers. I don't see it. It will take over jobs, but this is just the world of things.
mm,
Industrial revolution did the same thing, right? Um, Jobs were gone, but new jobs occurred as well. Um, and I think there's a need for design to really use the technology of AI to amplify the things they do for impact, reason, and purpose. I think we can, if we use it right, it can be massively impactful. Um, but from an empathetic view as well. Um, I think right now we're coming to a space where companies are understanding that the technology is available. Everyone can do the tech, but can they make the experiences around the tech that are delightful, that are enjoyable, that are lasting and impactful. That's where design, I don't think, will ever die. I think people that really truly understand the craft of experience will always have a job to have if they use the tools and means that they have with technology. Um, I do think there's been a lot of bullshit coming out with AI as well. There's fucking startups happening overnight. There's
Mm.
fucking a big rise of startups happening.
Valuations are off the
Oh,
scale.
don't make any fucking sense. That figure on over 90% of startups fail. That's just getting fucking bigger. Um, because people are just shooting out things left, right, and center. I think we're coming into a bit of a dot-com situation in the next year or so, where there's a bubble and it will pop.
Mm,
Um, but nothing like a recession or anything like that. More of a dot-com situation.
mm, mm.
Um, I think that bubble will pop, and I think we will reset and we will go back to doing things that are impactful and meaningful, and until a next hype train arrives.
No, of course, there's always going to be another hype trend. I know that's always the case, particularly in the design space. One thing that gets me though is design always gets left out whenever there's a new technology paradigm. Like this is my experience. So I'm looking at your view, yeah, to either or just yeah a rebuttal if you like. Um, Something new shiny comes along, the tech guys go crazy with it. Then the marketing folks jump on top of it. Then they realize they need a reason to sell the tech. And then, wait, design people, what can we use this for? Because
Yeah,
we need to sell this shit.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably an oversimplification, right? But where's your head at with that?
I've kind of been in a place of mind with things where I think if a company's going to do something wrong, let them do it wrong. Let them get hurt by it. Let them bleed.
Mm.
Let them realize their mistakes. There's no point of us sitting there crying, "Hey guys, you need to do design. You need to do these things properly." It's like you want to go down that path. They're gonna do it. They're gonna hurt. They're gonna bleed. They'll come back to us when they want to fix the process, and then at that point, we'll help. They have to bleed a little bit if they want to go down the wrong path first. There's no point us trying to overprotect them. Um, I think design is it's insanely crucial to the play of things at the moment.
Mhm.
I think there's people are realizing everyone can do the tech. Everyone can do it. What's making you different in your offering, your service, your product? What's making it different? Only design has the skill sets of and knowing how to do that,
I mean,
how to figure this out.
that's even before you get to personalization. It's like
Yeah,
understanding purpose and
yeah,
then introducing personalization.
yeah. The business strategy has to be right, and the approach has to be right, and then tech amplifies that. Tech is always it amplifies. It doesn't create. It amplifies.
See, that is where my head's at. And I've spoken with other folks, you know, and their view is the complete opposite. Their view, perhaps, not even perhaps, they've said it out loud on this show. Why would they? Why? Why would anyone come back to UX? Why? They don't now. They don't engage us now. So why are they going to come back in the future when they realize things go wrong? I mean, they're entitled to their view, right? I don't prescribe to that, but there is that mindset that's out there as well.
When you take a holistic example of this, right?
Mm,
You have a product and a service. You launch it over. You don't consult design like what happens now. You got a bunch of you got CTO with a bunch of marketing and a bunch of like people. Launch out a product. You have 20 of those. Same thing, doing the same thing with
mhm.
the same. What's differentiating? What's winning? And
That's it.
that will come back to us. Where
That's it. Yeah, yeah. So there's an awful lot of pragmatism that's required, um, but that's I think what we've always done. I mean, my background's engineering and music and all of that, la 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 la. But then you get into the design space, and it's yeah. See when you walk around the block again a couple of times. You know, not to go on this journey that you're going on, but you're gonna do it and you've done it and yeah, come back. We know you're
Yeah,
gonna come back. I agree. I agree
yeah,
100%. So you younglings out there who are listening, maybe, don't lose heart.
yeah. I think it's it's a better playing field for them, to be honest, at the moment. I think those creators have the ability to just create now as well. We never had that.
Correct.
We could create something in fucking Photoshop or Sketch and shit. But but that's where it ends. It was like that'll be it. These guys have they have the ability now to use it, the technology to go ahead and create and
Tools
just
are insane. I mean, you look at, I was doing AR and VR stuff bloody decades ago, and where it is now, uh, you just look at what Snap are doing and hardware integration, and the next step of that is going to be cerebral integration. If Elon Musk gets his way, and everyone's got a chip in their head, um, whatever that is, but the expanse, the increase in scope of what an individual can actually create.
yeah.
It's still got to be good.
Yeah,
It's still got to be credible. Yes, it needs to be delightful and feasible and blah 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 blah. But if there's no purpose and if it doesn't kick ass, no one is going to be interested. No
yeah.
one. But that's nah.
I think the ones that are younger that have these skill set to create these digital experiences and products and services that do them well,
Mm.
they have they could overjump us quite quickly in the times of years where we're at.
That's just the nature of things. But
Yeah,
I speak a lot about, for example, ageism. Right? Particularly in our sector. I mean, it's everywhere, but it's felt probably because of the proximity, um, more so. You just get to a certain I know I had it when I was in agency land, and I speak to my peers, and yeah, if you hit, what is it, 35, and you start looking over your shoulder a little bit, and if you're 40, everyone, yeah, you feel it in an agency.
it's kind of weird because I know it exists. I know it's a thing.
Mm.
I've never felt it for myself. I've always seen it in the opposite perspective. Like those older fuckers, they know what's up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the model is the same. Um, it's a cyclic thing. People will come back and they'll just go, "Oi, who do we get? Who do we get? Who knows this shit? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get that old dude."
I mean, there's things in years of experience that you just can't learn or do in like a professional setting. There's things that we learn through the ages that are not they're not tied to craft. They're tied to personal life experiences. They're tied.
Mhm.
That's why, like, even like when we get to this point, like the ways that we talk and communicate with people is different with the years experience that we have. It's the way that we handle situations. Um, so it kind of comes to a favor, I think, of people that are older. And I've always like I have people like a lot older than me in my agency, and it's always been a point that I've referred to them when I get a bit hot headed. I'm still young, I still get a bit hot headed on things, but I need they ground me and they're Holly chill. It's fine. We'll
No, I mean, I literally do on a day-to-day basis, even now. Um, how to, number one, identify these folks who you can see the potential in, and then how to transition them from arrogance to gravitas.
Yeah, yeah,
That that is priceless. Look, we've been almost talking now for an hour. Once again, thank you so much, for wanting to do this. I know schedules, both of us have been crazy busy, but we've made time, like you said, and this is happening. Any anything, not necessarily closing comments, but is there anything that you want to really share? Something that, whatever it is, open for.
yeah. I guess one thing I could share is that everyone should be listening to this podcast. Everyone should be tuning into you. Everyone should be opening their ears to the wisdom of Mr. Gill. Um, I think that, from my perspective, I think we're blessed to have people like you around us, and me to call you a friend and a peer is it's an honor. Thank you.
Okay, I definitely wasn't expecting that, but look, that's I'm gonna do what I'm trying to do, which is to shut the hell up and just say thank you. Um, but no, agency, it's going great guns, right? You are doing amazing work. Um, and there is a thing that I'm gonna be speaking to you about, not now, because I think there's some damage that needs to be done and will be done from a community perspective. So I'll save that for next time.
Yeah, I mean, jars samosa need to be happen. Those conversations need to happen. And then the more samosa eater and jar drinkers there are, brilliant.
This is it, man. This is it. This is like one of the reasons why people need to come to Chubba, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just that. Look, Hardeep, it's genuinely awesome to see you excel, right? And not just the younglings, but to see a South Asian, to see like a proper and I mean proper Punjaban, right?
Is that with a A? Because that's how I should be spelling it.
Yeah, having a go at my spelling, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm an engineer, so I ain't gonna spell nothing. I never could. I never am going to, and that's just one of my traits.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's one of my closing remarks. To stop spelling Punjabi with a U. Doesn't make any sense. It's just that that's my closing remark. No
I
more
will,
using.
I will look to correct that. No, nobody is beyond learning. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you. I really, really do.
Thank you, Joe. It's been an absolute pleasure.